In this series, I'm going to walk you through my entire vocal production process. I'll show you everything in detail, from what mics I use, my preamp and tracking settings, my workflow actually in the room with the singer, how to comp and edit a vocal, and even how to mix a vocal, and literally everything in between. The workflow and process I'm about to break down for you is exactly what I do every single day, writing, producing, and mixing songs here in Nashville, Tennessee. This process and workflow has amassed me hundreds of millions of streams, numerous TV and film placements, and has led some artists to be really happy about how their vocal sounds, saying things like this. So come on, let's jump into this video and I'll show you all the secrets of how it's done. Alright, so before we get into the technical of this video, I first want to talk to you for a minute about the goal and a little bit of my philosophy behind vocal production. So my goal when I'm working with an artist in the room is first and foremost to make them as comfortable as possible and inspire as much confidence as I possibly can when they're on the microphone recording a vocal. You're going to see me in the room be positive, be encouraging, being supportive of the singer, because really at the end of the day, if the singer's comfortable, they're going to feel more confident to go for more takes, and in most cases, they're going to give you a better performance. With that, I'm also going to work really hard to make their vocals sound amazing from as early on in the process as I possibly can. You know, that goes from the first time the singer puts on their headphones and hears their vocal back in their ears singing through a microphone. I want that vocal to sound awesome and almost like it's already mixed. By the same token, when we get into playback, as soon as I hit spacebar and that singer hears their vocal back that they just performed, I want that vocal in their headphones to sound absolutely amazing. All that just goes back to the goal of the singer being comfortable, being confident, so that they feel more comfortable giving you a better performance. I also think that from a producer's point of view, having this workflow in mind allows things to be more efficient for you and gives you a better picture of what the end result of your vocal is gonna sound like in your final production and in your final mix. You know, this workflow that I'm about to break down for you, I get pretty mixed, pretty final sounding vocals out of the singer and kind of in my template from very, very early on. And that allows me to have a better idea of how the performance is gonna sit in the final mix, instead of having, you know, tracks and tracks of dry vocals that I then have to go comb through later, and I'm not really even sure how what I'm getting from the singer is gonna sit in the mix. So for you producers out there, this allows for you to be more efficient and I think have a better gauge of how the performances you're getting are gonna function. So really, all the skills and technical tools that I'm about to break down for you in this series go back to this goal of making the singer comfortable, giving them confidence, making your workflow more efficient so you can get the best performance and best vocal that you possibly can. I also want to take a moment to talk to you about vocal chains, and let me explain what I mean by that. You know, in my years in Nashville, I've been asked by quite a few people, you know, artists I'm working with or other producers or aspiring producers I'm working with in a mentoring role, hey, what's your vocal chain? And, you know, I don't think that's a bad question in and of itself to ask. And, you know, I'm obviously happy to share my vocal chain. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you all my plugin settings that I use from recording, tracking, all the way through mixing in this entire series. So clearly I'm happy to put it all out there for you, and I'm about to do that. The thing that I don't love about that question though, is I sometimes think the mentality behind it can be, oh, if I just had XYZ producer or XYZ mixers vocal chain, their plugin settings, then I would be able to make my vocal sound as good as they do. You know, as you'll see in this series, the art and craft of getting a great vocal is so much more than just copying plugin settings. So sometimes that what's your vocal chain question, I think, can be viewed as a shortcut, but really there is no shortcut to getting a great vocal. There's no substitute for time and consistency of actually honing your skills and learning the art and craft of vocal production. So of course, copy plugin settings, use plugins and techniques that you see me use in this video. That's why I'm putting it out there. But I think the bigger takeaway and the better way to approach this is to learn the why behind the what. Try to get in my head as you see me work through this vocal in real time. Try to understand why I'm doing and take parts of my workflow that you like and incorporate that into your own process and your own workflow. You know, that's really how I've arrived at my own vocal production workflow. I didn't just copy some other producer's settings and process 100%. I would kind of have my thing that I was happy with the vocals and vocal production I was getting, and then, you know, I'd get together with a buddy and I'd see what he or she was doing, and I might like one thing from what they were doing. So I would take that one thing, incorporate that into my own workflow, and, you know, several instances of doing this, just incrementally getting better vocals over the course of years is what's gotten me to this process and to this workflow. So I'd highly encourage you to do the same. If you have things in your workflow that you currently like about your vocal production, don't change that that at all. But hopefully there's a tip, trick, or technique that you can bring into your own process, your own workflow to up the quality of your vocal production today. All right, so I next want to talk about vocal microphones, what your options are, and when I might use each. Honestly, I don't want to make this overly technical and get in the weeds on different types of microphones and all the technical things kind of in the microphones. That's not what I'm trying to do here, but I do want to educate you and make you aware of your options and when it makes sense to use each. So the first option for vocal microphones is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. Honestly, this is what I use 99% of the time when tracking vocals. The large diaphragm condenser I use specifically in most cases is my Manley reference cardioid set up right over here. The Manley is honestly a great mic. You know, it does all the things I wanted to do, sounds great on most singers, is a large diaphragm tube condenser. You know, it just has super great clarity. It really just does everything out of a vocal that I want it to do. But with that being said, there's actually some situations and circumstances where I wouldn't recommend the nice mic like the large diaphragm condenser Manley reference cardioid. The thing that's great about that microphone and other nice large diaphragm condensers is they pick up everything in crazy detail. But with that, you have to keep in mind, because they're picking up everything, they're picking up both the things that you want, but also what you don't want in your recording. So if you're working in an untreated room with lots of acoustic reflections, or if you're cutting a vocal right by an HVAC, you know, that large diaphragm condenser microphone is gonna pick all of that up. And when you get into the vocal mixing, starting to add saturation, compression, glue, all that good stuff, you know, those mix techniques are gonna bring the vocal forward, but it's also gonna bring forward, you know, the phase in the room and the reflections if you're in an untreated space, or that HVAC, background noise, whatever it is. I can get away with using that nice large diaphragm condenser microphone because I'm working in a well-treated acoustic space that's pretty dead. But if I was working in a bedroom or in a less than ideal situation, I actually wouldn't recommend using a nice large diaphragm condenser at all. And instead, what I would use is a dynamic microphone, such as the Shure SM7B that I'm talking into right now. The thing that's good to understand about dynamic microphones is they're much more directional in terms of their pickup pattern. A condenser microphone is going to pick up everything around you in great detail, like I just said, but the dynamic mic is just going to pick up my voice right here. You see, if I move to the side like this, my voice cuts out quite a bit. If I move to the side of the nice Manley condenser though, it's not gonna be that much of a dramatic difference. So when a dynamic microphone can actually be great and better than that large diaphragm condenser is when you're working in less of an ideal acoustic space. Maybe you're in a bedroom or on a tour bus, or you're right next to the loud HVAC or whatever it might be. In that case, a dynamic microphone is gonna be your friend 100% of the time. The way I would go about tracking and mixing the two microphones is really the same in both cases. There's going to be minor differences here and there, but honestly, you can get incredible vocals out of a dynamic microphone, and you can also get incredible vocals out of a nice, expensive, large diaphragm condenser. By the same token, you can get crappy sounding vocals out of a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 mic, and you can get crappy vocals out of a $100 mic too. But it's not necessarily the gear. It goes back to what we just talked about. It's the tools, the skills, and the techniques that really are going to be the difference between an okay or poor sounding vocal and a great one. So now that you have a little bit of an understanding of microphones and know that in most cases, I'm going to use my Manley reference cardioid large diaphragm condenser microphone. Before we actually jump into the studio and work with a singer, I want to break down for you my tracking and preamp vocal chain that's foolproof, seamless, works on almost every singer, any microphone. I'm yet to run into a situation where it doesn't sound great, as well as my tracking template. So let's jump into the computer. All right, so let me start breaking down for you what my actual vocal tracking chain is. So I run my Manley reference cardioid through my UAD Apollo. I do all my tracking through my UAD Apollo in console. I also do my monitoring through UAD console and not actually Pro Tools. It'll make sense a little bit more when we jump into the workflow. You'll see that in action. But the thing that's so good about UAD console is all the plugins are zero latency. So you can track things and stack things up right here in your chain that sound great in a singer's headphone, but you're not going to run into lots of latency issues. So again, that's all going to make more sense when we actually jump into it. But I do want to mention that I do all my monitoring and all my tracking through UAD Apollos in console specifically. One of the other things I love about Universal Audio, and again, I have no affiliation with them as of the time of making this video. I've just used their products for, I don't know, close to a decade at this point. I've been in their stuff for so long, and it sounds great, and I think it's super easy to use. But I love these unison preamps, and that you can actually replace the preamp inside of the Apollo with one of their plugins, and it changes the color of the stock universal audio preamp to these legendary, classic studio preamps that they've modeled so well. So the preamp that I use 100% of the time for the last however many years now is the UAD Neve 1073. And when I'm tracking off my Manley reference cardioid or most large diaphragm condensers, I pretty much always have it set like this. And then I'll tell you what I do on a dynamic mic. So I don't have any EQ on it coming in. I pretty much always have the output set close to 0, maybe a little bit below right there. So I'm not messing with that too much. And I pretty much will just have it set between 35 for a louder singer or maybe in a chorus. 40 is kind of home base. I'll usually start there on a singer. Usually no louder than 45. This would just be if a singer's super quiet or if we're cutting a really quiet part of a song. So 35 to 45 is pretty much home base, on a large diaphragm condenser, my Manley specifically. This preamp set like this pretty much never doesn't work. It just always gives a great sounding vocal. I've used this on pop stuff, country stuff, hip hop stuff, singer-songwriter, like any genre, this thing's going to sound great set like this. The only difference that I would do if I was recording a dynamic microphone such as this Shure SM7B is this is a quieter output mic by quite a bit than the Manley reference cardioid. So in those cases, you're going to need to give it more gain. I find that if you're using an SM7 without a cloud lifter, which I don't personally have a cloud lifter, I don't have a problem with cloud lifters, but I just go straight in. In those cases, I'll usually gain up to somewhere around 60, 65. Again, because this SM7 is a significantly lower output microphone than my Manley and many other condenser mics. Again, though, use whatever microphones you have. Like any microphone pretty much will sound good through this chain. You can get good vocals, I believe, with just about any microphone. But if you do have a Manley reference cardioid out there, I do have the padding gauge. So for my Manley users, all of this signal flow and gain staging is with the pad on. I'll just throw that in. You'll also see that I have this filter on just to get rid of a little bit of low end that you don't need in vocals. From there, I'm running through 1176, this silver and blue. People ask me all the time, does this sound better than the free UAD legacy stuff? And I'm not a big plugin person. You don't have to have this, but honestly, to me, this does sound ever so slightly better to me on vocals, in my opinion, than the stock UAD Legacy 1176s, although you can get great vocal sounds with those. So if you only have the Legacy stuff, use that. I do think the gain staging is ever so slightly different, but I pretty much always have an 1176, this silver and blue one on my vocal chain set like this. So I'm pretty much always 4-to-1 ratio. I pretty much always have the attack and release set like this. I pretty much always have the output set like this. And then what you'll see me do when we jump into the studio with the singer or if I'm cutting my own vocals is I'll just adjust this input right here, usually somewhere in this range, like a little bit more if it's a quieter singer or a quiet part of the song, vice versa if it's a louder singer. I'll adjust this input until my needle is just moving a little bit, like somewhere between 1, maybe 3 dB at the max. I don't want to move this needle a ton. I'm not trying to commit a ton of compression at this point, but this is kind of functioning all like analog gear pre-Pro Tools. So the signal flow as we go microphone into the UAD stuff as if it was analog gear, then into Pro Tools. So it's important to keep in mind if you're using the UAD stuff, this is all happening pre-Pro Tools. And you'll see I have record mode on in that I'm actually committing the sound. I'm dialing in a sound I like and I want those plugins to be committed before we hit my signal chain in Pro Tools. So you'll see me when we're testing mic, testing headphones level, all that in a minute with the singer. I'm going to drive this input until it's kind of just hitting where I need it to. And as we jump from section to section, which spoiler alert, I typically cut verses separate from choruses. One, because I think it gives the singer a better chance for performance to be in a section, but also from a gain staging standpoint, I can kind of tweak the settings, tweak the levels to kind of be in a good place. So you'll see me dial in that input knob till we're just kind of moving the needle right here with an output pretty much always set right around 18. But for me, this Neve 1073 set like this into the 1176 pretty much is a foolproof vocal chain that will always sound good. The other thing I want to mention is that I have a little bit of pure plate, and you can kind of just pick any reverb you want, but I have it set like this, and this is over in my send. So this send over here on aux 1 is nothing but a vocal tracking reverb. And to me, this just goes back to that whole thing of making a singer comfortable. Some singers want to hear a lot of reverb in their ears when they're tracking. I work with a whole bunch of other singers, though, that want no reverb or very little. I think Brandon, who we're about to jump in the studio with, he likes just a little bit, if not much at all. So that's not going to be as much of a factor today. But I want to have reverb sends ready to go. So if a singer wants reverb, and some of them will, I'm not having to go pull up a plugin or anything like that. I just adjust the send and they have reverb in their ears. With that too, and I think this is a good technique if you're a producer who doesn't sing or if you're a singer, but actually like when you're not in the creative time, or if you're a producer before the singer comes over, actually go put on your headphones and actually sing into your microphone, into your vocal chain, and see how it sounds. That might sound obvious, but I think that's such a great technique to incorporate, because you as a producer need to know what your headphones sound like. That's going to allow you to make better decisions on your tracking workflow and in your monitoring setup, again, just to inspire confidence in a singer. And if you are a singer self-producing, I think it's really smart when you're not in the creative moment of actually wanting to track a vocal, go put on your technical hat, again, outside of that creative time, and dial in your headphones. Play around with some of the things that I just broke down for you and get your headphones sounding good. I find that in most cases, if somebody likes the way that their headphone mix sounds, they're going to be more confident to, again, deliver a better take. From there, we actually start jumping into my vocal tracking setup in Pro Tools, and this also starts to go into my vocal mixing workflow a little bit. And, in the mixing part of this video, we're going to go plugin by plugin what's actually going on the vocals. So if you want to see all the plugins on the actual vocal chain in Pro Tools, stay tuned for a later video. I'm going to break it all down for you, show you every single thing, how it's set, what's under the hood. That's going to be awesome. But just for an overview right now, I want you to pay attention to everything under my master bus from here all the way down to here. I bring into my setup and into any song I'm cutting before a singer is ever in the picture. And again, you're going to notice there's auto tune on all these tracks. There's reverb and delay sends kind of preset. There's reverb and delay returns back down here. I have BGV tracks ready to go. I have several lead vocal tracks ready to go. I have an empty tracking chain right here. It's all going to make sense again when you see it in action. I have reverb and delay throws ready to go. I've made sure that all my inputs are properly set to channel 1. Again, this goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of a workflow, is I have my whole settings kind of preset. When we get into mixing, I might change plugins around. I might move things around here and there, but I'm bringing in a chain that I've developed over years that I know is going to sound good on most singers in most songs. We're going to have auto tune preset so that the first time I push play and the singer hears a performance back, it's going to sound mixed. There's going to have a little bit of tune on it. Spoiler alert, we're going to go in, hand tune, hand time correct, dial that all in greater detail later. But again, we're not just going to push play on a dry vocal. The other thing that I think is good about this workflow is it allows you to stay organized. I have all my lead vocals split out right here in pink, and they're always pink in every session. I have all my BGVs set up and routed to their auxes right here in blue. Again, with the correct input set, with my starting chain of plugins on it, and just visually moving through a vocal production session, it allows me as the producer and engineer playing both roles to stay organized. I can just look visually and know, all right, lead verse vocal right here, lead pre-vocal right here. I'm not making a mess for myself, and I'm going to have to go back in and organize. So again, we talked about at the beginning of the video, but all this technical goes back to that goal of making a smooth workflow, making things efficient, and having things sound really good from the very beginning of the process. Before we jump in with the singer, I do want to make mention of what I do from a monitoring standpoint, because I mentioned I monitor through console. So this might seem simple to some of you, but I'm gonna break it down. So basically, the singer's mic is going to come through channel 1 right here. I'm going to have this unmuted. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to adjust the level of the track right here, just using my master fader in Pro Tools. We'll show that here momentarily. And then what I actually do, so since I have all these plugins on, you might be wondering, how do you deal with latency? What I actually do is I track with the track that I'm tracking into muted, again, because back here in console, the singer can hear their vocal right here. So they're monitoring through console. I'm adjusting the track level as needed over here on my master bus. And then I don't have to worry about latency because the track that I'm recording into is actually muted. So we've talked about microphones, you've seen my tracking setup, and you've seen my template starting point. I think there's nothing better to do than actually jump into the session and let's record a vocal in real time. We're going to be jumping into the studio with a good friend of mine and dear collaborator, Brandon Ray. Brandon and I have worked on a ton of music together. Brandon's actually a country artist, kind of first and foremost. Go check out his music under Brandon Ray. We've done some together, and he's worked with a bunch of other great producers on that. In addition to that, Brandon and I have a project called Outskirts. That's the two of us doing swag, kind of hype cinematic rock. Had a bunch of TV film placements together. So Brandon and I work really close together. That's something to keep in mind when you see our workflow too. We've done a ton of work together, so we're super comfortable. The back and forth and the dialogue might be a little different with Brandon than it would be if it's the first time I'm working with someone. So, there's lots of relationship psychology always at play when you're a producer cutting an artist vocal. Today, we're going to be cutting a song for his country project, Brandon Ray, a song that we actually wrote together just last week. It's called Anywhere, Anytime, and we're going to cut the vocals and then do all the editing, mixing workflow in this series. So let's jump into the studio with Brandon Ray. All right, everyone. So as promised, we are live in the studio with my good friend Brandon Ray. We're just going to pretend like this camera is not even on, and we're just going to do our thing, cutting this vocal as if you weren't even paying attention. So not even going to look at you too much anymore. We're just going to work. So cool, Brandon. Headphones up.
Yeah. And just so you know, I'm not texting. I have the lyrics on my phone. So.
Likely story. I said we were done talking to you, but he can't help himself.
I just had to preface. That's it.
So yeah, headphones are up. Let's run this just for more, because you said you needed a little bit more track in your ears, right?
Yeah.
Let me just run this so you can tell me when you're in a good spot with track versus vocal. Is that balance better?
Yeah, that feels great.
And then just sing this verse for a sec.
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up, flying some gravel, coming unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been.
Yep. It's all feeling right?
Yep.
Cool,
feels
man.
Good.
You just want to hit this verse a few times?
Let's roll, man.
Up till the chorus.
Sorry, I got a little tickle in my throat.
It be like that some days.
Yeah.
Sick.
Right.
Couple bars good for a lead in?
Yeah, that's perfect, man.
Here we go. I'll cut it in half next time. Cool. 2, 3.
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up, flying some gravel, coming unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
Sounds like absolute trash.
I know it.
It's exactly what you should never, ever say to a singer after they just do their first take. What you should do instead is, hey, Brandon, how'd your headphones feel? All that feeling all right? Do you need any level changes?
That's the perfect line. How do the headphones feel? Instead of, you suck.
And I just did both. So.
Yeah, there you go. Those lower parts for me on the verse, I've still got to get a little warmed up.
Yeah, but I know
headphones feel great. So.
And I know we said we're not going to pay attention to you, but that is something I'll do quite a bit. Like, I don't ever give commentary on a singer's first take 2, maybe even 3. Like, just let them get comfortable. I don't need to say anything. He's still getting the feel and all that. So Headphones are feeling good. We'll just rock this verse a few times.
Do you have any room temp water? I'm just kidding.
In the house. Reverse osmosis. I mean, technically I got this mason jar right here.
Dude,
so.
Yeah. No, that's the whole thing is like, singers can be crazy difficult. I usually am, but I'm not going to be today.
Just because the camera's on.
Yeah.
Most people turn on their diva for the camera. You turn yours down. I'll give you half that lead in.
Sounds good.
We'll rock that full verse a little bit. Then if we need to take it in smaller sections after a couple times, we can.
Love it. That
cool. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up, flying some gravel, coming unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right.
Want to keep getting into that?
Yeah, man. Maybe just a little more volume on that track.
Overall or just
yeah,
track?
Overall's great.
Here, I'll give you track and I'll give you
Sweet.
right there. Tell me.
Hey, yeah.
Here, I'll play a little longer intro and you can just tell me what you need on if track's in a good place now.
Yeah, it's
is that better or you need more still?
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up. Maybe just meet in the middle. Down,
Split
down,
the difference.
and that's good.
Cool.
Don't even have to touch it anymore.
Until we do.
Until we do.
All right, cool. Let's get that.
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up. Flying some gravel, come and unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
Cool. How's your voice feeling? You
Feels good, man.
Getting warmed up?
It's getting warmed up, yeah.
Let me take a listen to just front half of that last take. I just want to kind of see where we're sitting.
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up. Flying some gravel, come and unravel, finding ourselves again.
Yeah, dude, that's feeling awesome.
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up.
And one thing I will mention real quick, I know I keep saying we're not going to talk to you, but we're going to keep talking to you. Right now, I'm just listening more for vibe than anything else. As you'll see in a minute here and in future videos, you can, within reason, fix pitch in pretty great detail. You can fix timing in pretty good detail, but what you can't fix that we can only get right now is vibe and performance. So I'm almost making all my decisions, and when I'm listening through takes and kind of starting the process of putting a rough comp together and knowing if we have what we need or not, it's all about vibe. He's a good enough singer to where you can pretty much pitch correct any of his takes and get it to sound the way you need to from that standpoint. So I'm only listening to vibe right now.
One thing, if I could get just a little click.
Oh, it's click, not him.
That might help my timing a little bit.
Amateur hour over here.
I know, right?
I know. I'm teaching people how to be a professional producer, make your vocals, blah, blah, blah. I can't even unmute a click. Oh, man.
It's cool.
You got to love it. It's a Friday. We're doing this on a Friday, and Brandon's got a kid. I got a kid on the way. That kid will be here by the time this video's out. It's that parent brain that they say are distracted all the time and spacey.
It's a real thing.
Starting. All right, cool. Here's let's get another one of those. I feel like around one more will be good on that front half to maybe isolate that back half. Feeling awesome though. Click good.
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up. Flying some gravel, come and unravel, finding ourselves again. Well,
That's great. I just want to listen to that front half. I feel like these last two, you've nailed that part.
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up. Flying two, just gassing it. Just gassing it up.
That's just auto-tune, grabbing a little bit. Pull that retune speed back.
Taking off a week or two, just gassing it up. Flying some gravel, come and unravel, finding ourselves again.
Yeah, dude, I'm feeling great about that front half if you are.
Yeah,
I want to get a couple more on that back half. And yeah, we can I'll just punch in the been.
Find some gravel, come and unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
Yeah, dude. I think it's just putting the emphasis on the ba-ba.
Yeah, weekend. I need
Deep
to put
end.
the ND on there. I keep releasing.
No,
Yeah.
you're good. I think it's just leaning into. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Kind of like you did in that scratch vocal.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You know how to do it.
No unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
Heck yeah, dude. Give me one more choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're
deep end.
You got it.
Come and unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
Feeling great. Let me listen to the weekend deep ends on a couple of these.
Again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. For the weekend, wanna jump for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now for the weekend, wanna jump for the weekend. For the weekend, wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time that deep end. Now there ain't that deep end. Now there ain't.
I think something like this might work, and we can see if you think you can beat it.
Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
How are you feeling about all that?
I feel good. Listening back, I feel like I'm like either behind the beat or rushing some stuff, so I'm gonna try to just lock in a little bit.
Yeah, you're good. And part of the quirk of this song that we were just talking about before we jumped into this is not everything is perfectly to the grid.
Yeah,
and so
true.
It's like I know when I was working on the drums, like spoiler alert on this song, like there's some drum grooves and some of the instruments, like they're all tight together, but they're not 100% always quantized to the grid, which honestly isn't how you and I roll a lot of times.
But honestly, for this kind of song, if
it's
you're
good.
Tracking live,
yeah,
that happens.
Yeah,
you know?
it's good. So there's a little push and pull that like, even when I go fully time correct your vocal, like I'm not just gonna be able to like solo it up to the click. So,
right. No, it's true.
Do you just want to give it another crack on?
Yeah, let's do it
on
man.
that back half.
That sounds great.
Cool. I think it's just the weekend deep end for me, but
weekend.
Yeah, you good, dude.
Come and unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
I felt like that was maybe your best one yet.
Yeah, I feel
let me
good.
hear that.
Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
That was a great take overall.
Awesome.
Just nudge this way a little.
Right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
Yeah, dude, I think we got good bones
Yeah.
of that right there. You want to maybe jump over to verse 2?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. One of our songs by Outskirts Music. Also, let's get it.
Give us a follow.
I guess I can plug my other stuff on my own stuff.
Why not?
Yeah, there are no rules. Here we go. V2, I'll give you a bar.
Okay.
Just pick any old dot on the map, tear off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights, we're riding wide open roads.
Pretty flat on some parts.
You good, man?
I'll get good.
Yeah, just settle into it.
Riding.
I'll give you a couple to lock in.
Cool.
Just pick any old dot on the map, tear off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights, we're riding wide open roads.
Heck yeah, man.
Cool.
Already feeling better.
I like it.
Let's get another one.
Yep.
Just pick any old dot on the map, tear off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights, we're riding wide open roads.
Yeah, man.
Wide open roads.
A
What
little
do you-
quicker on that one.
Was your timing a little behind?
Just on that last line.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I got it on the the one before. But.
Sure. Let me just hear those, see where we're at.
Just pick any old dot on the map, tear off the...
Yeah.
Any old dot on the map, tear off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights. We're riding wide open roads.
Yeah, a little behind there.
We're riding wide open roads.
That was solid. And one thing too, like I'm not comping for real right now, but I am just with him here. I don't always do this, but like I'm just trying to take inventory of the takes we have. I'm gonna comp in great detail later, so I'm just making sure that we got all the parts that we really need. But if there's a word or take that I hear as being good, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that and throw it up in the main playlist. May or may not stay long term, but I am doing some of that workflow wise. But let's take a listen to that and see kind of how we're feeling about it big picture, if we need to keep going.
Just pick any old dot on the map, tear off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights. We're riding wide open roads.
Let me hear the first line.
Just pick any old dot on the map.
I think I like that one better. Something like
Just pick any old.
whoops.
Just pick any old dot on the map, tear off the rear view.
I'll just nudge that timing a little.
Just pick any old dot on the map, tear off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights.
Let me hear that roll.
Roll that dice. Roll that dice, all green lights. We're riding wide open roads.
I'm feeling good about that for now. What about you? Do you want to keep trucking, or are you feeling happy with that?
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Yeah, we can always come back if we need. And like that's something to point out too. Like we only did 3 takes there. If we could keep going another 5, 10, 20 takes, however many, but we didn't need to. You know, if anything, like Brandon's a good singer, all his takes are going to sound pretty consistent. So no sense being here the next hour singing that
true,
second
man.
verse, right?
Yeah.
Brandon's got a kid to get home to.
Nah, he's good.
Yeah, he'll be, your wife and kid, they'll be fine.
Oh, they're good.
He doesn't need a dad, right?
Nah, man.
Want to start hitting that chorus?
Yep. Let's do it.
Yeah, bust out chorus.
You say the word. Cool.
And I, you know, because he's going to go a little louder in his register, I'm going to dial back the preamp probably a little here. So I'm going to kind of use this take to focus on that. So
There ain't no time for sleeping, too many places left to go. You say the word, we can hit the road fast, leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes, wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
not
Ooh,
bad.
that was a jump.
Not bad for an amateur.
All right.
How to destroy a singer's confidence.
When-
These are only things you do when you know people well.
Yeah, my favorite is don't worry, we'll get the real singer in after this.
Oh
So.
man, yeah, that's I the story of a guy. I heard this and he was like, there was an artist who thought he tracked all the guitars on his records, and then some guitar player who's like a session player met him like 5 years later, and he's like, oh, you're blah blah blah, yeah, I played all the guitars on your fill in the blank record. And the artist was one that was like real personal, like he wanted to be the one playing everything. And he's like, no you didn't, I played all those guitars. And the session guitar player was like, no, well wait, it was this record with these songs, right? And the guy was like, yeah. He's like, no, I tracked all those.
That's so great.
So,
man.
yeah, it's funny how that goes sometimes.
I was in a band like long time ago, similar situation. The drummer was a part of the band.
Yeah.
And they let him go in
Yeah.
and do his
Oh, yeah.
thing, and then they had somebody come in and,
Oh, yeah.
and fix it. And
I
he,
mean, early on in my career, like decade ago now. I mean, when you're taking whatever work you can, it's definitely like, oh sure, man, would love to get you real band drummer on this, and you just go replace it all later. I've done it.
if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, but on some of the crap I was working on 10 years ago, oh yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
I'll own up to it for the internet. I won't say whose it was though.
Right, you don't want to do that.
I won't give you that in case they're watching. But cool. Let's chorus headphone level, is that feeling good?
I could take just a little more track.
Yeah, I figured.
Passable.
You're jumping up there to the stratosphere, so it does make sense. Cool. Let's get that now.
Ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go. You say the world, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes. Wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
Is that track up better for you?
Yeah, it feels a lot better. I just gotta
get into
nail
it
the
a couple
parts.
times.
Yeah.
You're good. I think you can do it, Brandon. I got faith.
Thanks, man.
All right,
At least somebody does.
I know, right? All right, let's just stack that up a couple times.
There ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go. You say the world, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes. Wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
Heck yeah, man.
It's feeling better.
Makes me want to go buy a truck.
Absolutely. Here at Chevy.
Oh, you can't be giving Chevy shout outs on the internet.
I mean, sorry.
Ford.
Here at generic truck brand.
It could be a Dodge, Chevy. It could be any of them. Ford.
Doesn't
We don't
even matter.
equal opportunity
That's right.
truck consumer. Yeah, let's get one more of those and we'll take some inventory.
You got it.
Sounding great, man.
Thanks,
Feeling
man.
good.
Places left to go. You say the world, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes. Wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime. Woo!
His last few, man, I killed it before the woo. Amateur. Amateur hour. These last few felt really good. Let me just listen to that one or maybe the one before too.
You say the world, we can hit the road fast.
Kill all that reverb. What is this? An arena ballad or something?
You say the world, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes. Wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
Dude, that was one uncomp take. That felt awesome.
Awesome, man.
I mean, do you
There
want?
might be some timing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quirk of this song. I mean,
No, it's all good.
yeah, up in the instrumental, the groove. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to time correct this more to the instruments than the grid.
Right. Which happens.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's the name of the game. So, I mean, I'm not mad at that.
I think it's great, man.
I mean, I don't think we need to do another one of that right now.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we can punch. So we'll probably, this is pretty common in a lot of productions. We'll probably do what we call a fly in the chorus. Sometimes you'll cut separate choruses, but we'll probably take the same chorus, pull it over here, maybe over the last chorus, and just cut like different in phrases and maybe some ad-libs on the last chorus or something like that. So
I once heard somebody say, "I don't ever fly my choruses. I'm not that lazy." I was like,
oh, I am.
what? I guess I'm lazy then. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of lazy producers in Nashville,
guess
LA.
so.
Yeah, a lot of lazy producers with some hits.
Right, there
in
you
that
go.
case.
Exactly.
So just staying on leads, and we'll hit BGs at the end. So is there the solo section? Is there any like vocal ad-lib stuff there?
Anytime.
In your guide vocal, I don't know if it's like just even like hey, like some of that.
Some like ad-libs in there maybe.
Yeah, and maybe like. Yeah, some of that.
Here we go.
Yeah, we got to do all that stuff. Do you just want me to run it from the solo through that bridge section?
Sure, yeah, I'll give you some some haze, nose, naws, and stuff.
Cool.
Anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime. Woo! Yeah. Oh, here it comes. Here we go. That's right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can isolate that. Man, those guitars.
Oh yeah, I was doing like some yeah.
Yeah, into that drum chorus.
Yeah.
Those guitars sound smoking, man. Did you play those?
I did, but I think somebody replaced them.
I went and hired a session player. No, that story we told a few minutes ago, it was him.
It was me. I forgot.
Brandon's a beast of a guitar player.
I have no feelings though. So like, if you think they suck, I'm like, cool,
Yeah,
whatever.
cool.
Like, we'll find somebody.
We need to call buddy Justin Ostrander. Shout out to Justin. Go watch his YouTube channel. We don't need you though, Justin. We got Brandon Ray.
Yeah. Dude, I met Justin Ostrander in 2010. He was playing for David Nail. I met him in Minnesota, and then he played a few shows for me. And then he had kids, and then he quit the road.
And then like became a session beast, and
Just
then killing it on YouTube now.
He's like on 100 number ones, and
It's crazy.
Just
And I remember you told me when you first met him, you're like, I saw him play live guitar and was like, that dude is awesome.
like he mesmerized. He was
Run
playing
above.
through like some small like champ or some kind of small combo amp, and I was like, "What is who is playing that?" This is amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. Do you want to do another pass of the haze and ad-libs through the solo and bridge, and then we'll punch the thing.
Sounds good.
Anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime. Woo! Yeah! Ah, here we come. Here we go. That's right. Ah, yeah. Yeah. You say the word, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I just went for it.
No, you went for it. I didn't stop. I wasn't going to quit till you did. The thing, that felt awesome. Let me hear that.
Yeah. You say the word, we can hit the road.
Man, Brandon, I can hear in a song like this, like all your years of singing live, like it comes out and it's good. It's like it's that big rockin' voice. It gets to shine a little bit in something like this.
Hey, thanks, man.
It's what you did all those shows doing this kind of music forever.
That's true.
Give me one more that, just for another choice. That's great.
You got it.
Just
absolutely.
one other option.
Ah, yeah.
So I give you that much lead in.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Maybe that's. I mean, let me hear that.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Auto tunes. It's just grabbing it a little bit,
Right,
which
yeah.
I'll fix later. And then that's all flowing chorus.
Yeah.
Is there, while we're before we're in BGV land, and all the stuff in the solo section was awesome.
Thanks.
So, like, I don't know that there's tons and tons of ad-libs in this song.
I don't think so either.
I think it's pretty minimal, if any, but I don't know if there is. figure out how to fly this chorus over here like not an amateur. And just kind of listen to that in context and see. So we got the drums.
You say the word, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes.
There could maybe be something like in that hole right there, kind of going out of the drum chorus into the in chorus, like maybe there, and that could be it. Like
ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling
all day and night, or like
ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling.
like, yeah.
So you go ride all day and night. Yeah, we'll follow that feeling.
Oh, like just in the lead.
Yeah, we'll follow.
I like that.
feeling. Just something different.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I like the idea of this feeling more like one dude on the mic with a band instead of like there's 50,
Forcing, yeah.
50 Brandons in a pop thing. I mean, we like 50 Brandons, but one's plenty. We'll let about 6 Brandons show up with a couple
maybe.
doubles. And,
6 is the limit.
yeah, no more. one's enough.
Yeah, we'll follow that. Like it's just something a little different.
Yeah, that's cool. You get that.
Ride all day and night. Yeah, we'll follow that feeling where
That's cool.
day and night. Yeah, we'll follow that feeling
I think it'd be a click cleaner.
Yeah.
You got it
the
though.
sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. Yeah, we'll follow that feeling.
Cool. Felt good.
Yeah, we'll follow that feeling.
Yeah, that's sick. And then just thinking ahead there.
Feeling. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, like just one there. Yeah, I'll just turn you loose.
Anywhere, anytime.
I think it needs a little something like that there. I'm with you.
Yeah, anywhere, anytime. Anywhere, anytime. Yeah.
Sick, dude.
And I can even keep it. Even
Yeah,
simpler.
try it. Just, a lot of times with ad-libs, I like to not over-instruct. Like, if a singer needs a lot of instruction with ad-libs, I'm happy to be like, this note, that note. But a lot of times it's just like, turn you loose and we'll figure out where it goes later. So, just try another one.
Yeah, anywhere, anytime. Anywhere, anytime.
Cool. Here's both of those choices. Whoops. Come on.
Anywhere, anytime.
And then the first one was.
Anywhere, anytime. Yeah.
I like them both.
Yeah, maybe the simpler one, but then add you know.
Same thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I feel like for this song, that's actually all the lead vocals. Probably we can just do like a left, right, and I think it's very minimal vocal arrangement. That's not always the case. A lot of times in other stuff I've probably broken down on this channel by this point, like big pop arrangements, you can have stacks and stacks of vocals. But I thought this would be a good one to teach on because it's a good lead vocal and some basic harmonies, like the craft of getting that right. So you just want to maybe do a couple doubles in the chorus.
Yes.
Just do a left, right on that
Wait,
chorus.
this is for your channel? I thought you were just sending this to your mom.
Yeah, my mom is the only person that watches. And the big thing is you don't have fun. Like, music is miserable. You should never have fun while working.
Ever.
Only work with jerks you hate.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's why I got into this. That and to replace, so we talked about how another guitar player replaced an artist's guitar parts. Then after Brandon leaves, I actually replace all his vocals.
Yeah.
That comes in part 2.
There you go.
Oh man. Let's get just a left, right on the chorus.
That sounds good.
Places left to go. You say the word, we fast, leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes, wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
Sick, dude. And just give me one more of that.
Places left to go. You say the word, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes, wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, dude. And then there's just that, I know there's a couple verse harmonies, but it just was that high harmony in the chorus, right?
Yeah.
Was it all the way through, or was it just certain words?
I did it all the way through, I think.
Yeah, just
You say the word, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime.
it kind of feels like one where I'll just let you run it all the way through, and if there's a place that it shouldn't be, we'll just mute it
For
later.
sure. Yeah.
It's a pretty obvious one, I think. Cool. Let's get that then.
Ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go. You say the word, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes, wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah,
I think what it was there's like entrances that like I don't come in on like the first word.
Yeah.
It's like I come in on you say the word, we can hit the road fast. Moon come up and the sun, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have your guide from the scratch thing you cut.
Cool. That would help. That would help me. Because I do it like in my own time where I'm not judged by like millions of people.
The world, aka me.
Me.
Mostly just me.
And obviously all of your subscribers.
Yeah, true. There's a truck driving by.
Whoa. You say the word, we can hit the road.
No, I got EFX. I'll put this on it.
You say the word, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Moon come up and the sun go down. Ride all day and night.
It kind of
Right.
Follow that feeling wherever it goes, wherever them stars gonna shine. Come on,
Yeah, so just
let's
come on.
get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
Wow.
he's a pro, folks.
Yeah.
Hey,
sorry.
would it be helpful maybe to just go smaller chunks left?
Probably so.
Like maybe just this first two lines
Sounds
left, right?
great, yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's chunk it that way.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Places left to go.
Oh, and I
You
forgot to.
say-
I just wanted you to say. You say.
You say
Do you need any playback vocal versus your vocal different now, or is it okay?
No, it's
All right.
fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
places left to go. You say the word, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come
Cool. Then let's do it right.
fast.
Yeah.
Hit the road fast.
Yeah, do the little fall down with it.
Yeah. I'll redo that.
Cool.
You say places left to go. You say the word, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the
Sick. Then let's double that for left, right.
places left to go. You say the word, we can hit the road fast. Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon
Cool. From moon now,
come.
and then ride all day and night.
Yep.
See, I can do it too, Brandon.
Leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that.
I feel like just getting fresh breaths on those is
That's a good
helpful
point.
on-
Yeah,
when
it's
you're
like-
way up there, dude. Man, yeah, I couldn't have even ever tried to do that all the way
doing
through.
the high harm like live, can you imagine?
Oh,
it's
I
like,
know.
Jeez.
You can get away with a little more then, but
That's true.
But not in the official studio version.
Right.
Here we go. Here's another punch on that.
This town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling where.
Cool. And then
Follow that feeling wherever it goes.
and one thing too, I'll just mention while he's figuring out that next part is like background vocals you can get away editing a little heavier. So like as long as he's close, which he is, like I know in a song like this we'll be able to make the background sound.
I'm like barely there.
Well, I mean, you'll be there, but you can edit these really, really tight. So we can work a little quicker on these, just knowing a few steps ahead. Like we're gonna spend a lot more time editing the lead vocal, then we'll do these a little quicker. So, follow that feeling wherever it goes.
Yep.
All right, ready for it?
Day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes. Wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on.
And then it.
Stars gonna shine.
Yeah. Do you just want to punch
I would love to just redo that
the whole thing? It's deleted.
And for all you singers out there, it helps to just take one ear off
does it?
for these. For me, it does.
And then you just turn that and point it straight into the microphone.
You try to like suction to the back of your head. You know what I'm saying?
You aim it straight to the microphone. So
Here you go.
Every producer engineer
Right.
hates you.
Yep.
Yeah. That's funny, dude. Because you must be good at putting it back there. Because I've never in all this time noticed that you do that a lot.
Well, the only reason was when I first started like recording with Pro Tools in like 2008.
Yeah.
I had an inbox, and my playback didn't work while I was recording
That's
vocals.
funny.
Probably just amateur
Yeah.
reason. But I just like, okay, well, I'll hear the track, but then I'll hear myself in the room while I cut vocals.
I think you got used to it.
Yep.
Do you do
That's
one
it.
ear out live a lot?
I do, and it's
It's supposed to be terrible for your
don't
hearing.
ever do that.
Yeah.
It's horrible for your like equilibrium.
That's
too.
what they say.
Yeah, like I do lead with both on, but then for like harms
You'll
and like
throw one out.
yeah, just to like
Yeah, got it. All right. No, you're good. Worthwhile tangent. All right, let's get that.
We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes. Wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
It's kind of turned you loose. There's, I think, enough space to breathe there.
yeah, no, it felt good.
All right, let's get another one of those there.
Ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes. Wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime.
Sick, dude. Sick. Feeling good about the chorus harms?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
that's
so.
all there is in it.
It's really all you need.
Yeah, and for this thing, I mean, it's just more of a band and a singer. And then I think we just need need some chorus.
First pre, I think, was
Yeah, kind of looking. This is nice in this case. We have Brandon's from a scratch vocal he cut at home. We got that guide. Yeah, I think it's just all the way through that pre.
yeah.
I'm wondering. I might just want to do like one down the middle on that, then bring in the left right on the.
That sounds great. Yeah.
So I'll go pre-harm, and then we'll go chorus, harmony left. All right, here's that pre-chorus harmony coming your way.
Cool.
I think you know what to do. I think you got it, buddy.
I think
Find some gravel, come and unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
Do you think you're on the too many?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I can totally redo it if I need to.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you just get it cleaner, top to bottom.
Places. Love it.
I mean, you know what? Do the too many and I can kill it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it might be gone, but we'll decide later.
Find some gravel, come and unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
I got your old too many
That's
if we need
better.
it. Yeah, that was better overall. Let me listen to.
Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend.
Where's that reverb chamber coming from?
That was my voice. It's like a natural.
It's a natural reverb chamber, just like that.
That'd be a nightmare.
It's not CLA, is it? Sometimes you got to figure out what's going on.
Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend.
CLA unplugged, I guess is.
Oh, weird. Oh, did I have that on there?
No, I have this on my aux sometimes for.
Okay.
I did today at least.
Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end.
I think weekend. That
Weekend.
A little longer.
it was just a little like.
For the weekend.
Yeah, I think.
I gotta follow that scoop.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's just get that.
Let's do it.
Just punching the weekend.
Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now they're
Yeah, dude.
A little longer.
been wishing for the weekend. Wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping. Too many places left to go.
Perfect. And then we just kind of need to do the same thing over here in pre-chorus or verse 2. Back half of verse 2, it looks like.
Roll that dice, all green lights,
Riding
riding wide open roads.
Yep.
That easy. Then I think we're there on it.
Man,
Oh, yeah. Then we're going to go buy a truck.
that's it.
Shout out to all you truck drivers out there. My dad drives a truck, a big blue truck. You can't miss it. So, love truck drivers. Brandon and I just, I mean, as far as I know, he doesn't have a truck. I don't have a truck. But you know what? Like, you don't need a truck till you need a truck.
That's true, man.
And then when you need to like go pick up something that won't fit in your car, then it's like, man, who do I know with a truck?
It's so true, yeah.
And then all the truck drivers are like, see, this is why I bought that truck.
Yeah, for that one time I went to Home Depot.
I mean, like every day if you're my dad, but
Yeah.
for me, that one time.
Let's say shout out to all the real pickup truck drivers.
Yeah, I'm
who
just-
use it every day.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I hire work done and sit in my studio and
Heck yeah.
and tell Brandon what to do.
The money you would have spent on the pickup truck, you get to hire somebody, you know?
Yeah, you can hire a lot of people for the price of a pickup truck,
It's
man.
true.
Those things are expensive now.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, enough ranting about trucks. Didn't foresee this coming. You came here for the vocals, but you got the truck content.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Let's just get that high harmony, and we're there on it.
You got it, man.
Pick any old dot on the map, tear off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights, we're riding wide open roads.
Okay.
You
I'll get it again.
Yeah.
My
I
bad.
got you. I'll give you half the lead in.
off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights, we're riding wide open roads.
I can tune it, but I think the first note, roll that dice. I think you were.
Roll that dice.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Roll that dice.
I think you were a
all green
little-
lights.
Yeah.
Roll that dice.
Yeah. I roll that dice, all green lights. You got it on
Got
the
it.
all green light. So just really for that first line. That's all we
Totally.
need.
Off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights. We're riding wide open roads. You say
That'll work, my
That's the
friend.
one? Cool.
I think so. And I think we're in good shape now. Let's just listen to that verse chorus, kind of make sure we're in a good place. But that's sort of all there is to it from a tracking standpoint. You know, we went over all the things that we went over before we jumped to the studio here with Brandon and had all our infrastructure set up to when we were actually in the room together. Things went smooth. They were efficient. Hopefully, I didn't ask you, but hopefully things sounded good in your headphones. You know, we had the template and the chain set up to from the first time we push play on the vocal, like right now,
We keep talking about packing it up.
it's not some dry vocal. Like that sounds like the better part of a mixed vocal. So, you know, all that stuff that we already talked about, now you got to see it in action. And then just from an organizational standpoint, you got to see how having all your plugins set, all your tracks set up with your routing, with effect sends, all that, it made it super easy and seamless to actually track from my point of view, and then hopefully gave Brandon confidence too in having his vocal sound good from early on. So
Absolutely. It sounded great.
yeah, well, thanks, man. I'll slip you a 20 once we turn off the camera. But yeah, let's just listen to that verse chorus, and then I think we're gonna be there on it, and then we will jump over to part 2 of the series, which is editing. After we push play on that, we'll see you over there.
We keep talking about packing it up, taking off a week or two, just gassing it up, flying some gravel, coming unravel, finding ourselves again. Well, I've been itching, been wishing for the weekend, wanna jump right off that deep end. Now there ain't no time for sleeping, too many places left to go. You say the word, we can hit the road fast, leave this town on a dime. Let the moon come up and the sun go down. We'll ride all day and night. We'll follow that feeling wherever it goes, wherever them stars gonna shine. So come on, let's get gone. Go anywhere, anytime. Yeah, anywhere, anytime. Just pick any old dot on the map, tear off the rear view, no looking back. Roll that dice, all green lights, we're riding wide open roads.
All right, so that's a wrap on our vocal production series. I hope you learned tons of valuable knowledge, insight, tips, and tricks that you can start incorporating into your own vocal production and recording workflow. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell for more content just like this, specifically part 2 of the vocal production series coming out soon. We're gonna break down all the techniques and secrets of vocal editing. I also wanted to let you know about a new service I'm offering called Song Feedback. You see, if you're a music maker at any level needing a fresh perspective or second set of ears on your songs, I'm here to help, and I'm now offering that to you. I'll personally listen to your song and make you a video providing feedback from a songwriting, production, and mix standpoint on what you can do to elevate the quality of your song. If you're needing song feedback, feel free to visit my website or click on the link down below, christianhale.co/songfeedback, and fill out the form on the bottom of the page to get started. Thanks so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in part 2.